It's now time for the campaign beat. Two weeks to go in the French presidential election. We've got Florence Villeminot with us here on the set to take a closer look at that, like every day until the vote. Hi, Flo. Emmanuel Macron seems solidly ahead of Marine Le Pen at this point, but he is drawing some criticism for his attitude.
Critics say that Macron is acting too confident. Apparently, he's been accused of spending too much time celebrating his win in round two, and critics also say that he's acting as if he already won the second round as well. It's a different story for Marine Le Pen. She has wasted no time getting back on the campaign trail, and it seems to be paying off. If you take a look at this poll that came out today, you can see 61% of people believe that Marine Le Pen has successfully kicked off her campaign for round two. It's a different story for Emmanuel Macron, though. In fact, it's quite different. You can see 52% of people say that he has failed to successfully kick off his campaign for round two. Essentially, many people believe he's gotten off to a false start. Now, what do Macron and Le Pen think about all this? Look at this report by Anke Ula.
After leading the pack during the first round of voting in the French presidential election, centrist Emmanuel Macron is facing criticism. Polls predict an easy win, but critics and even some allies are worried that Macron might be getting too comfortable. He's been criticized for a slow start to the second leg of his campaign and for celebrating late into the night after his first round win. Some accuse him of acting like the race is already won, pointing to strategy meetings he's attended this week that already focus on legislative elections in June. President François Hollande, who's endorsed Macron, warned the candidate that he still needed to earn the win.
We need to be extremely serious and mobilized and not think it's a done deal, because a vote is earned. It's fought for.
But Macron hit back.
You can't build the future of this country by analyzing the last 24 hours. I will remain the master of my schedule, so people should get used to that. I've always been this way, so I'm not going to jump in front of the cameras just because Marine Le Pen is there.
In stark contrast, Le Pen has hit the ground running, with a full campaign schedule sending her around the country. The National Front candidate is making it clear she won't go down without a fight.
I know that
the oligarchy has already installed Mr. Macron in the presidential chair, but people still haven't done it, so we should wait for people to express themselves. And I'm telling you, the people will probably prepare a very big surprise for the oligarchs.
Macron heads to Le Pen territory on Wednesday, campaigning in several National Front bastions in the north of France.
Emmanuel Macron does seem to be making up for lost time. However, he has lined up a series of campaign stops today.
That's right. And our reporter Claire Williams is following Team Macron. She's currently in Amiens. Now, Amiens is in the spotlight today because, well, it's the home of Emmanuel Macron. It's his hometown. It's also where there's a Whirlpool factory that's in the spotlight. Now, Whirlpool announced 3 months ago they're going to be closing that factory and moving production to Poland. And today, Marine Le Pen showed up there by surprise. Claire, please tell us why Amiens is such an important stop on this campaign.
Yep, Flo, there's some rival campaigning going on in the same town today. We've got Emmanuel Macron just behind me at the Chamber of Commerce speaking to Whirlpool workers. At the same time, down the road, Marine Le Pen is at the Whirlpool factory speaking to workers. Now, of course, we know the pair have radically different economic programs. Marine Le Pen has always championed protectionism, France first, whereas Emmanuel Macron wants France to engage with Europe. He wants France to engage with the global economy. I actually spoke to a spokesperson a little earlier on this morning, and he said, look, Emmanuel Macron's line is that you can't save a factory from closing. The state cannot save a multinational like Whirlpool from closing, because you can throw money at it, you can throw tax breaks and subsidies at it, but at the end of the day, the factory will take that money and then relocate a few years later. So what Macron's plan is to, first of all, he says he wants to win over workers by making sure that they know that they'll get if he were to be president, he would guarantee their unemployment benefit while they're looking for work if they're made redundant. That's what he'll be telling Whirlpool workers today. But also, and this is crucial, this is a very important part of his campaign, it's about training. Emmanuel Macron says he wants to put 15 billion euros into training programs so that workers get reskilled and get the capacities and the training they need to find jobs in a globalized economy.
And Claire, later today, Emmanuel Macron is going to be going to the city of Arras. Now, he actually won a majority of votes in Arras in round one of the presidential election. But Arras is located very much in Le Pen territory. It's in the Nord-Pas-de-Calais. Can you tell us a little bit more about this region and why it's so strategic?
Very strategic region here in the northeast of France. This used to be a left-wing home ground. This is an area which is synonymous with factories now closing down. It's been that way for the last decade or so. It's a post-industrial area. Unemployment has gone up. People are disenchanted now with the left, and so it's been fertile ground for Marine Le Pen and her National Front party. They've made big gains here in the last few years, and Emmanuel Macron is desperate now. He really needs to win over the workers' vote, and he's going to struggle because he is still seen here by many as a candidate of the left. An ultra-liberal candidate is what Marine Le Pen calls him. He denies that. He says he wants France to engage in the global economy, but he still wants to protect the rights of workers. That's his line. He needs to win over workers here in the north of France, but it's not an easy thing to do because Marine Le Pen is strong here. People say they're tired and they're fed up with voting for the left and not getting anything out of it, and that's why they switched to the National Front. So obviously, Macron is trying to counter that today in Amiens, but we've got Marine Le Pen just down the road trying to do the same thing.
Thanks so much for that update, Claire. And we just got news coming in that Emmanuel Macron is also going to be heading to that Whirlpool factory later this week, perhaps on Wednesday. So, of course, we'll be giving you all the updates on those rival campaigning going on.
Indeed. Thanks for that again to Claire Williams, and thanks again to you, Flo. Just before you go, let's wrap up on a lighter note. Journalists have tracked down a young man who is the spitting image of Emmanuel Macron.
His name is Elliot. He's 24 years old. He rides a moped, and even his mother thinks he looks like Macron. You can judge for yourself in this photo. Now, France TV Info has a funny report about this young man from Seine-Saint-Denis who apparently is being stopped in the street on a daily basis. Now, he's not too fond about this sudden celebrity. He says he's getting old. It's getting old, rather. His colleagues jokingly call him Macron at least 3 times a day. That being said, though, he's making the most of the situation to try and promote his musical career. He is a singer in a band called Conjuring, and there's a music video that's been making the rounds. You can see it here. This music video has been viewed over 176,000 times. Now, the million-dollar question is, did he vote for Macron in round 1? No, he didn't. He refuses to say who he voted for and whether he's going to vote for Macron in round 2, but he does think that Macron is going to win. He tells France TV Info, the next 5 years are going to be tough. I don't know about you, but I don't really see the spitting image.
There's a little something, maybe in a suit and tie. But you know, you could probably make a lot of money as a Macron impersonator these days.
You certainly could. We'd have to see Macron sing to really judge, I guess.
Thank you so much, Florence Villeminot, for today's campaign beat. And don't forget, you can check out this episode and all the others on our website. That address is france24.com. We'll be giving you updates until that final vote for the French presidency on Sunday, May 7th.